All right, and call to order the school committee meeting of Friday, September 6th. It's 5:30 p.m. Well, we have the Pledge of Allegiance on here. I don't think any of us have a flag. I know I don't. I think we can waive that for this meeting. So we will go ahead and move on to new business. We're meeting to discuss the overnight field trip request of the robotics team. So I will give it over to Mr. Ahern to go ahead and discuss that.
Okay, well, let me begin by sharing my appreciation for you all meeting on such short notice. I know it's an inconvenience after a long workday, so it's very much appreciated you taking the time. So our Team A this year, last year's team, which you all met, they did their demonstration for you. They've graduated, but the other team that went to Worlds is now the current A team. And in true A team fashion, they're trying to take every opportunity they can to participate in every tournament that is available to them. They showed interest over the summer in registering and participating in a new signature event called the Lobster Bowl, which is happening in Maine this year on the dates that were shared with you. A signature event is any event that is open to the entire world, not just any particular region or state. So there might be teams from China or California or what have you. The benefit of a signature event is that it allows the kind of top tier teams to be able to sniff out the competition, to be able to get a sense for where the meta of the game is shifting early on, and to provide opportunities for them to kind of hone their skills throughout the season. The other added benefit is that if they do perform well enough, there is an opportunity for them to qualify for the World Championship in September at the match, which would allow them several months of preparation, which I can't explain enough how valuable that would be for them. So the Lobster Bowl is happening the 12th to the 14th this year in Orono, Maine. Students were told their registration fees would be paid for, but it was up to them how they got there and where they stayed. They have two parents that are participating with them or driving them and are staying at the hotels with them. One is Christy Hale, and another is the parents of Nikhil Reddy Glover, whose names I have if you would like to share, or if you would like them. I'm fairly certain Christy Hale is quarried. I'm not sure if the parents of the other student are, but I don't know if they would be considered chaperones in the first place, since I'm the one that's actually going to be at the tournament on the tournament fields with them, staying nearby as well. So to address the questions that were shared with me, unless you have questions now that you would like to ask.
Is Christy Hale the parent of one of the children?
Yes, she is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I think we consider them to be chaperones, and if they're not quarried, we still have time to submit those quarry forms. Michelle will check those names for us. If you just make sure get her those names. I think you did. She'll check those names, and if they're not quarried, if they fill out the paperwork Monday next week, we'll have time to have the quarry processed and back.
Okay.
And can we make sure that the parents are the ones doing the driving to and from?
Yes, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bennett, I'm curious. So when you say, is the season the same as the academic year, or are there overlapping seasons?
There are overlapping seasons. So the first signature event of the year happened in early August. So the next season basically starts as soon as the old season ends. So over the summer, kids were building robots. In fact, I was at the lab 3 days a week over the summer to let these kids get a head start, which they took full advantage of, which is why they're prepared to go to this first event, which is heinously early in the season. Most teams would not be ready for this. So it starts the day after World Champion, or the last season's World Championship. They release the next year's game. So kids, it's basically an entire year, the season, if you think about it that way.
And it's kind of more like a calendar. Well, it's not a calendar year either. It is like a calendar year.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess the big issue that big question we want to know is, why is this just coming to us now?
Right. So it's a two-part answer to that question. The first part being that this competition is the first essentially of the season for most schools. It's the first year that they've run it as well. Normally, there isn't a competition for kids to participate in until November. So the timeline was dramatically advanced for me. Also, this is the first time I've ever started the season with the school. So I'm still, I don't want to make excuses for myself. At the end of the day, this is on me. It's my fault for not being as on top of it as I should have been. But there's a lot that has gone into that. So essentially, they told me that they wanted to be registered the week before school started. I registered them that week, and then, the school year began. One thing fell on top of another, and I looked up a couple days ago and realized that I hadn't done the most important thing, which was to bring this to you guys and get, everything signed and stamped. So that essentially is why it is just coming to you. Those two reasons, and I think I've explained. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. And we do understand. We knew that you are new to leading the robotics team, that this is your first season essentially on your own without Mr. Motherway. I think the majority of us are big fans of the robotics team. So we understand that circumstance. So I guess knowing that this was a new experience for the students jumping in quite so early was an essential piece of information for us.
Okay.
And
Other
Madam
questions?
Chair, I'm not sure, like, our last meeting was also before the beginning of school, so it would have been hard for perhaps this to have happened in the way we would have ideally wanted it to, and not knowing until this moment or even a few weeks ago would not have allowed us to would not have changed what we were doing essentially anyway. So I'm understanding in this case of having to do a special meeting and sort of change our normal protocols.
Thank you.
And I would just like to kind of go back to the first one of the chaperone question. I just want to make sure I understand. So chaperones for this trip, there are high school teachers and there are parents who are chaperones, and either they are all already quarried or will be quarried before they leave. Is that?
High school teacher. I think Bennett's the
High school
only teacher that's attending. Am I correct,
Okay.
Bennett?
Yep.
Okay, so a high school teacher or a parent, and they will all be either already are or will be quarried before they leave.
Correct.
Okay, all right, awesome, thank you.
And Ben, how many students is this?
So there's 5 members of the A team this year. Because one is hosting a Spanish exchange student, only 4 will be attending the competition.
Sounds like a great experience for the students and for the team for being ready to go do this so early and just continue to push and drive throughout the year. That's very exciting.
I feel like the one thing I'm going to need, though, is for the robotics team to come visit us sooner and have things shoot at me sooner than we usually do. I mean,
You will be disappointed. This year's game doesn't shoot anything. It's just stacking discs. So it's a lot less exciting and fast paced than last year's game for sure. But it is a big deal. This is the first time a North Andover team has ever attended a signature event. So these guys are very excited and very happy to represent the school. So
Yeah, the opportunity to be able to qualify for Worlds this early is very, very exciting. I imagine they are besides themselves to have that opportunity.
yeah, they've been working nonstop every day.
So forgive me, but I'm a little mixed up. So last year, what we were celebrating was national, not worlds. Am I getting the hierarchy right there?
Well, nationals is worlds. There really isn't a nationals. There's a regional event, which we qualified for. And I think right before that is when we did our first presentation for you guys. And then that qualified us for worlds, which happened in Dallas.
So I'm sorry, but you just said this was it's the first time we've been to a signature event, not the
Correct,
first time
yes.
the team will go to worlds. I'm just getting terminology straight. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
And the signature events, it is kind of the best of the best. In the robotics worlds, there's a few numbers and teams that everybody is always talking about, and all those teams typically go to these signature events. It's a who's who for robotics, kind of.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, we just ask, if there's any other future events coming up where the robotics team is going to have overnights, where they're going to miss school. we understand under this circumstance it wasn't possible. If we could just look ahead for the rest of the year, if we could just bring those forward, that would be much appreciated. Are there
You
any
have
other
me.
questions?
I think also like it doesn't hurt Bennett to do even the ones like we're gonna knock on wood that they're gonna qualify for worlds and regionals and all that, but it wouldn't hurt to even have those approved for us in advance just in case.
Okay.
And then we don't have to worry about timelines or anything like that.
You don't think that might jinx it though? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's okay, Dick. Other clubs have done that. So we have a history of clubs that are putting in even before they qualify, and they've all done great and made it.
Okay.
So
I
maybe
will
it'll be
make
to
sure
your
you do that.
benefit.
I think
So
the
apparently
dates
it's
for
not-
Worlds.
Apparently it's not a jinx.
Okay, good. I think the dates for Worlds were just released a couple days ago, so I can get those to you guys. Regionals, actually, this is kind of big news. I put in a bid to host the regional event this year at North Andover High School. So fingers crossed that we get selected. If not, there's always next year. But yeah. But I'll let you know
That's
those
super
dates.
awesome.
Fantastic.
What was that?
That's super awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Chair, do I need to make a motion to suspend protocol
Yes,
and
please.
waive for a second read? Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to suspend protocol and waive a second read to vote on the robotics team going to RNO Maine for a signature event.
And I'll second it.
Okay, I'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Hicks,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Cormier,
Yes.
and I vote yes. That passes. Right?
You need a motion to adjourn, Madam Chair?
Nope, I need
have to
a
vote.
motion to approve.
Yeah.
Oh,
The-
right. I'll
Madam
make that
Chair,
motion. Oh,
I'd like to move to approve the robotics team trip to RNO Maine for September of next week, September 12th.
Can I add an amendment to that motion
Please do.
pending the completion of the Corey forms?
okay, seconded.
All right. Mr. Hicks,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Cormier,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Very good luck, Mr. Bennett, at this event. Tell the students good luck.
Absolutely.
We wish them well. It's very exciting to see how well the robotics teams have been doing over the past few years, and to be able to do the signature event and be able to be among the who's who of robotics is great.
Thank you. I'll try to keep that head of steam up. And again, I really appreciate y'all taking the time to do this with me. So
Absolutely.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good
Good
luck.
luck.
thank you.
Thanks, Bennett.
Have a good night.
All right. Now may I make a motion, Madam Chair, to adjourn?
You may.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Mr. Hicks,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Cormier,
Yes.
and I vote yes. We are adjourned. Thank you all for your time on such short notice.